Hey guys, this is Stars and Moon Tarot, and I'm here for my first ever monthly prediction. This is going to be for March 2019, so definitely stick around for this video if you want to find out how your March is going to be this year. And again, keep in mind that this is a general reading, so some of the things that I say might apply to you, some of them might not, so please don't hold that against me. If some of the stuff doesn't resonate with you, just take what does, leave behind what doesn't. And with that, I'm going to get started. If you've never done a pick-up pile or pick a card reading before, how this works is I have 4 different piles. Pile number 1, 2, 3, and 4. You just meditate on the pile that you are most drawn to. If you're drawn to more than one pile, you can definitely listen to both of those readings. But down below, I will provide you with timestamps, and you can just fast forward the video to those timestamps to listen to your reading. And yeah, I'll give you guys a moment to choose what pile you want, and if you need a longer time, you can just pause the video. Alrighty, so let's start with pile number 1. What does March 2019 have in store for you? Actually, I'll move these out of focus. Alrighty, so the first time when I saw this, I definitely thought, like, you guys are going to be more inclined to, like, listen to your intuition this month. Or if you haven't been listening to your intuition, you're going to be trying to find ways to tone up your intuition skills. No, hone in on your intuition. Because the High Priestess is all about things that are going on underneath the surface, intuitive insights. They're pretty psychic. But on the downside, it can be like dishonesty, deceit, illusions, fogginess. Some people associate her with Pisces, but officially Pisces is associated with the moon. So I think that's kind of interesting. There's a moon right there. But it's like emotions. So there was that going on. And then, what else was I drawn to? I was drawn to the 5 of Coins, 10 of Wands, and King of Swords. 5 of Coins is all about, like, going through a rough time, not necessarily, like, depression, but just money in general is, like, hard to come by. You could be going through a dry spell at work, you might be laid off, you might not be getting as much hours as you need to make ends meet, but overall, you're just going through a tough time. You're trying to make things work out for you. And then 10 of Wands is about, what is it? It's about, like, problems. You're carrying everything on your shoulder, lots of responsibilities, and it can just wear you out. But also, what lengths are you going to go to, like, make your success work? And then King of Swords, this one, like, showed up in reverse. I read it, like, face up. So I saw, like, King of Swords is represented by Aquarius, but the swords are represented by air signs. Air signs are all about, like, intellect, thought processes, and very logical thinking. So the King of Swords, he has a good head on his shoulders, he has a good sense of judgment, he can give good advice, and if you're, like, in the underdog situation, he will help you out. With his words, logic, he can be very kind, but on the downside, he can also be very militant, cruel, somebody you don't want to mess with. It can be somebody not seeing your situation, somebody having a lack of empathy for you, and yeah, just somebody that you don't want to mess with. So when I saw those 3 cards, I was like, oh geez, you know, like at work, it could be like your superiors aren't necessarily seeing your side of the situation. It could be that you're carrying on more work than what you need to do, like you already have so much stress that's going on, and like they're not seeing your situation. But the thing is, before you like jump to conclusions, I would probably voice out like, hey, like I need to, you know, like take a step back because I have so much going on, you know. And it could be that that's all that you need to do is just reach out and say, I have too much on my plate, you know, can you help me? And then if that's not the case, like if they're not willing to help you, then I would try to like leave that situation. And then there's, what was it? The Knight of Wands also caught my attention because this one is Sagittarius. It's all about, what is it? Like, the Knights are about like defending something, overcoming challenges. And with the Knight of Wands, it's all about like using your action to like just get things done. You're not necessarily like thinking things through. You just go out there and you do it to get it done. But also, the thing that drew me the most to the Knight of Wands is there's kind of like a third eye up there. It made me think of like the third eye chakra. And then, like I said, with the High Priestess, like intuitive knowing's like your inner knowing. So I definitely feel like you're trying to take actions to, like refine your intuition and refine your intuitive abilities. Like maybe seeing through people's BS, maybe seeing through like your ways out of this situation if it's really difficult to deal with. And what else is it? There was something else too. And maybe it'll come through me when I do the oracle cards. Oh, yeah, here it was. So it could be that you're trying to go on this way to success, but it could be difficult for you to do that. And I feel like you might try to find a release by seeing like the bigger picture of things, because that's also what Sagittarius do, or Sagittarii, however you want to pronounce the plural meaning of it. But Sagittarius, they like to see the bigger picture of things. And I feel like, and also like when they find the truth, they can't shut up about the truth. They love having philosophical beliefs, that sort of stuff. And they have like high ideals, High Priestess, high ideals as well, you know, like intuitive knowing. They can be compassionate. Or I think of like Pisces. Like I said, some people associate the High Priestess with Pisces. So I think of like high ideals, and I feel like you might, like if this is becoming too much, if it's becoming too much of a burden and you can't find a way out, I feel like some of you might try to find a release in spirituality and connecting with your intuition. So let's see what the spirit messages have to say. I absolutely love these cards. Like if they ever get worn down, I'm gonna have to buy like another deck. That's how much I love them, because I don't want to get rid of them. Alrighty, so this one says new beginnings. Everything in life is constantly vibrating and moving, and therefore continuously changing and evolving. Be aware that a new beginning is on the horizon. Have courage and faith, because right now, life is trying to nudge you forward and move you in a new direction. So when I saw new beginnings, I definitely thought of Knight of Wands, because again, this is represented by Sagittarius, and Sagittarius, they love starting new things. They love going on new adventures, and they are actually very adaptable to changes. They absolutely hate it when things are stagnant. So, you know, like maybe the new changes that are coming along, maybe it's like the work changes that are happening that are like giving you some burden, but at the same time, there could be other like unexpected changes that are coming that should keep you like more, energized. There we go. And give you like maybe a new perspective as well. So it's saying have courage and faith, because right now life is trying to nudge you forward and move you in a new direction. Or it could also be that you need to get out of this situation, and this is what your intuition is trying to tell you. You know, like see it as a sense of adventure instead of like, oh my gosh, things are coming to an end, my world is crashing down. It's like, nope, you should look at this new beginning as something exciting. And then also when I saw new beginnings, so 10 of Wands is all about like oppression, having responsibilities, things that you're carrying on your back. And the opposite of Wands, or like the complementary energy of Wands, is Swords. 10 of Swords is like about betrayal and moving on from a difficult situation. So there wasn't swords in here except for the King of Swords, but that's what I thought of. I was like, okay, so like this is supporting the energy to like move on from something as well. Then let's see what the second card has to say. Reach out. You know you're reaching out right now for help due to a current situation. Support is as much about the physical act of accepting help we're offered as it is about the emotional benefits and learning that it's truly okay to accept support however it's presented to you. So like I was saying with this, you know, like maybe, maybe you're the one that needs to reach out to your superiors because things are becoming too difficult. Oh, something else I forgot to mention too is when I was looking through this, like maybe your superiors do notice that you're like working hard, but maybe they're just not willing to give you the help that you need for whatever reason. It could be they have like an alternative agenda, but I honestly feel like if you ask for the help, they should give it to you, but if they're not going to, then you definitely need to like lead the situation. But with the reach out card right here, I feel like when it says support is as much about the physical act of accepting help we're offered, it is about the emotional benefits and learning it's okay to accept support however it's presented to you. So maybe also like the help that you're getting, it's not ways that you expect it at work, like it could be something else, but definitely like reach out first before you jump to conclusions. And then have fun. Stop. Excuse me. Stop. When was the last time you had fun? When was the last time you took a chance and did something silly? Something totally unlike you? Something just for the joy of it? It's long overdue for you to let go of your analytical mind and give yourself and soul permission to have fun. Yeah, like I said, I never want to get rid of these cards because I'm always amazed like how they line up with the rest of the tarot cards. So when I saw have fun, definitely thought of Sagittarius again, because they are all about having fun, starting new adventures, and I never noticed this before, but there's like a ship right there, and they're all about traveling, like going on long voyages, you know, so maybe you need to go outdoors, do something different, maybe you need to go like on a cruise, literally, like take a vacation. And then I also thought of like the King of Swords, because like I said, he's a very like logical guy, very analytical, but he can also get like stuck in his thoughts too, so that could be a problem, like especially if you're dealing with stresses at work or money isn't coming in fast like you want it to and things are just becoming really overbearing. You might have a hard time like relaxing or doing something, but this one is encouraging you to, you know, like take that break, do something fun, do something silly, something totally unlike you. So yeah, that's what I have for the first pile. I hope this resonated with you. If you did, please hit the like button down below and make sure to subscribe to my channel. I do daily readings, and then I also have an Instagram account where I post daily affirmations. Yeah, daily affirmations, daily readings, and then inspirational quotes to keep your vibes up. So yeah, on to pile number 2. Alrighty, so let's see what pile number 2 has in store for March 2019. Alrighty, so this one is a super good reading, just gonna say that. Like, when I was going through this practicing, like, I was smiling the whole time, because, oh, the people that chose group number 2, like, you're on the look for your other half, and you guys are gonna find it! Like, oh my gosh, because you have the Hermit right here, it's represented by Virgo, and then you have the Knight of Cups, and it's represented by Pisces. And like in astrological zodiac sign speaking, these are their other halves. And I'm just like, oh my gosh, it had me really excited. Yeah, because I feel like after, like, you're gonna be on the search for this person, because it looks like this guy, you know, is kind of like searching, you know, for something. But actually the Hermit they are full of knowledge, like occult knowledge, mysticism, that sort of stuff. So it could be this person is very like knowledgeable, or they could be like this Pisces energy where they are very forgiving, very compassionate, but I feel like they're going to be this way with you, even if they're more of like the logical person. They're going to be like very understanding towards you, very compassionate, but, oh, what is it? This guy right here, he's full of wisdom, but he also is very intuitive, and for him, he has to kind of like go into his shell, go into his cave, and then when he reemerges, he speaks the truth. So I feel like for you, you might have to do a little bit of like self-discovery, maybe for a little bit, and kind of go in and get in touch with what you want, what you don't want, but you are definitely going to find that person when you reemerge, because holy cow. Like, I feel like when you meet this person, you're going to start thinking, like, right away afterwards, like, if you can build a family with this person, are you guys, like, thinking on the same lines, like, oh, what is it? Like, do you guys believe in, like, raising a family? Do you focus more on work? Whatever the case is. And then you have the Two of Coins, and this is about, like, balance, having a good relationship. So I also feel like maybe if you don't meet the one, but I highly doubt that's the case, you could come into contact with a person who is just going to balance you out. It could be like a business partnership, it could be a work-related project that you come together on, it could be a school project, whatever it is. I feel like when you meet this person, you guys are going to have like a lot of the same beliefs, and you guys are going to balance each other out in like good ways, because like I said, you know, this person could be very logical, but, you know, have like a touch of compassion towards you, or they can be very compassionate and you could be the one that's very like analytical and logical. But the thing that stuck me the most, though, too, is like the way that you guys meet. It's going to be very sudden, kind of like spontaneous. Like you're not going to see it happening because the wands is all about action. They can be impulsive, spontaneous, though, kind of like spontaneous combustion because they're full of so much passion. But I feel like when you meet this person, it's going to be like love at first sight, you know, and you're not going to be able to like contain yourself. And some part of me was just like, it might lead to a one night stand because you're just so like full of passion like that. Like you might kiss, like, I don't know if that will be you guys. If it is, definitely comment down below. But there are definitely going to be strong feelings. And if you do end up having a one night stand, like afterwards, you could be like overplaying it too much. Like, oh my gosh, I didn't even know this person, but I like gave myself up. Or you could be thinking like overthinking this situation quite a bit. But also, the Knave of Wands is somebody that is loyal, somebody that is going to keep your secrets. They can be somebody that is trusted. So it's like you don't really have anything to fear about it, but you're still going to worry a little bit because, like I said, you kind of, like, it seemed very impulsive, not very much like you to do this. And as I'm saying this right now, like, I kind of have a huge grin on my face. But, yeah, this is a good reading, guys. Like, if you find the one, you have to let me know. Like, seriously, I want to know if you guys found the one. But, you know, it could also be that you meet this person at work because the Hermit is represented by Virgo. Virgo handles, like, every day-to-day aspects of life. It could be work. It could be, like, maybe you go to the grocery store every day and all of a sudden you just run into this person there. It could be, you know, maybe you're at, oh, what is it? Because Pisces rules, like, things that are hidden, kind of like humanitarian efforts, kind of like sacrificing yourself. Oh, what is it? It could be that you meet this person like in an animal shelter or at some sort of fundraising event too. And all of a sudden you see this hottie and you're like, oh wow, whoa. You know, but I feel like right after you meet this person, you're going to be thinking like, okay, like, do we have, you know, things like, do they see relationships the same way that I do? Do they want to build a future? That sort of stuff. And I feel like, yes, you guys are gonna vibe out so well. So yeah, you have to let me know if you find the one, because I would love to know. And like I said, if this isn't the one, it's going to be a really good, like, relationship, like business partnership, school relationship, whatever it is. It's going to work out very well for you. Alrighty, and the spirit messages have to say is vulnerability. This is a confirmation that you're seeking to tread into the unknown, unfamiliar territory, where decisions are based more on intuition than rationality. Don't let fear hold you back or allow a misguided sense that feeling vulnerable is somehow a negative emotion. So I definitely get the vibes, like I said, especially if this is like a one-night stand or whatever, you could feel very vulnerable, like, about this connection. And I guess even if it isn't a one-night stand, you're just going to feel vulnerable because of the intense feelings that you have for this person. Because like I said, this could be like love at first sight. And it could just be, you know, you meet this person like very randomly and all of the emotions that it evokes in you, you're just like, oh my gosh, like, I love this person so much. I don't even know them, but I love them. And it could entice you, but also scare you because you also don't really know what this person is about. And then it made me think of the Hermit because, like I said, they're very analytical. They don't necessarily go into the unknown as much. Like, they go into their intuition, I guess, or they have to hermit back. There we go. But they're also travelers. And I feel like Pisces is more of like, they're comfortable with the unknown, the unfamiliar territory of like the intuition, you know. So I also feel like this person, like, you're able to express your emotions to them, you're able to tell them like your fears, that sort of stuff, and they're just gonna get you, you know, so you don't really have anything to fear about this connection, which is super sweet. And the second message is love. Oh my gosh, like, I'm always just amazed how these cards line up. Like I said, if I ever like damage these cards somehow, I'm buying another deck, or if they get worn down too much, I'm buying another deck, because these cards, wow. Love is the foundation of your existence, and you're just as worthy of receiving as you are of giving love and compassion. While love can be a beautiful emotion, it is equally a form of energy that propels you through life. So definitely, like I said, this is going to be like a love connection. For the most part, if it isn't, it's going to, like, maybe you're going to meet this person through something you love as well. Like, if you love going to work, you love school, that sort of stuff. You could just meet a person who just vibes with you very well. But I definitely feel like, for the most part, this is going to be like your soulmate, somebody you're going to like build a relationship with, or something to that effect. But in here it says, you're just as worthy of receiving as you are of giving love and compassion. And, oh, what was this? I also feel like maybe from past relationships, you know, like you do have a vulnerability with this one, you know, like some vulnerability issues because of like the strong connection that you have. But also, like, when you go through any sort of breakup, I feel like it kind of plays with you a little bit. You feel like maybe you're not worthy of receiving love and compassion, or like giving it, that sort of stuff. It might make you a little bit hesitant to do that. But with this, I feel like everything is going to be okay. Like, it's okay to love this person. And then the last card, a father's love. A father's love for his son or daughter never dies. The strength gained from such love is often unquantifiable, and that it can be tapped into at any time for whatever reason. Whether your father is still here or has passed, a father's love is one of the strongest bonds any of us will ever experience. So nothing in here screams at me father, you know, or speaks of like father's love. But in here it says strength gained from such a love is often unquantifiable. So like the strength gained, I feel like it's going to take strength on your part to maybe like be vulnerable and to love this person. Not because they're a bad person or anything like that, but just like it's going to coax you out of your comfort zone a little bit, and you're not used to that. And also, what is it? That this love is like really strong too. You know, like when you guys come together, this person is going to understand you. You guys are going to be able to like work towards goals together, whether that's like having a family, whether that's your career, whatever the case is. You guys are just going to be stronger together, like in this connection. And it's beautiful. Yeah, I loved this reading. I hope you guys did too, but that's the end for pile number 2. And if you liked this video, definitely hit the like button down below, and make sure to subscribe to my channel to get more readings. I do a lot of like daily readings, and then I have an Instagram account where I post daily readings, positive affirmations, and inspirational quotes to get your vibes up. And then leave a reply in the comment section down below, because again, I want to know if you guys found your soulmate too. I'm just as excited as you are. So, on to pile number 3. Alrighty, so this is group number 3. Let's see what group number 3 has for the month of March. Yeah, so I think if you chose from like groups 2, 3, and 4, they all have like some sort of romantic connotation with them. So I'm super happy for you guys. That's not how I thought it was going to turn out, but I'm glad that it turned out this way. That's how I'm reading it, so yeah. I feel like this month is going to be a really good month for you, because you have the Sun card, and this is all about like positivity. It's your success, like the fruits of your labor. You're going to be noticed for something, and I feel like it's going to be amongst your social groups and maybe even at work, like you're going to be recognized, because you have the 9 of Cups right here, and then you have the 9 of Coins to like complement that. And 9 of Cups is all about like social gatherings, being in social groups, your popularity, that sort of stuff. And then you have the 9 of Coins, and a lot of tarot readers say that this one is the singles lady card of the tarot deck, because she is very alluring. She has a lot of, she's very alluring. She has a lot of like accomplishments underneath her belt. She's a very desirable person, and she's claimed like a lot of wealth, and she's worked hard for what she's wanted. And then also like these support one another, because this is water energy and this is earth energy, and in tarot they complement one another. So I feel like, yeah, you're going to be recognized for that. But then there was like the King of Cups, and King of Cups did show up in reversed, and this one, you know, like I take note of it. I don't, you know, like reverse it in the reading like that. But King of Cups is represented by Scorpio, and Scorpios, they are very hardworking. They are very supportive. Yeah, they're very supportive. If you need somebody to like be there, like a shoulder to cry on, they're going to be that shoulder to cry on. But they also have like a great wealth of knowledge just from the experiences that they've had, because in the zodiac signs, like Scorpio is all about like transformations and like constant change, and they've gone through like hell and back, so they definitely have a lot of experience to share upon that. But on the downside, this can be somebody that is very manipulative. They take advantage of somebody that doesn't have as much experience as them, and they can be vindictive. Lots of not so great traits. And then the Five of Swords, this one is about, like, embarrassment. And I wanted to know, like, what the Tattoo Tarot had to say about that, because in the Witch's Tarot, this one, that's all that it pretty much says is, oh, what is it? Is that it's embarrassment. And let me see. The Five of Swords, it's like greater self-knowledge, often from mistakes and hardships, brute force, sometimes with destructive consequences, strength through persistence versus over-ambition, possible losses through acting purely in your own interests. So I was like, okay. So I feel like this is still going to be a good month for you. Like, you could find your other half, like, in social circles, in, like, doing different activities, but at the same time, you might face a little bit of jealousy from others, you know, and I would be wary, like, if you're in a relationship, I feel like you're gonna enjoy your time together, you know, like, you're gonna go out, you're gonna do different things, expand your social horizons, but if you're not in a relationship, I see this as going, like, two different ways. One, you're just gonna enjoy, like, your group of friends, expanding your horizons, but as you expand your horizons, I would be a little bit wary of the people that come into your life. Like, they might not have the greatest intentions towards you, or if you start a relationship with somebody, you gotta be sure that you're going into, like, the right reasons for it, because maybe this person that's coming into your life, they see you as very, like, prestigious, very popular, and they could just want you for those reasons, and not necessarily, like, what else you have to offer. And vice versa, if you're going into a relationship with somebody, you should go into them because, like, you have a shared sense of value for things, not just, like, the surface of things. Like, there has to be some sort of deeper connection there too. Otherwise, it's just going to be, like, a lot of frustration for you, and it's not going to turn out for you in the long run. And, oh, yeah, it could also be, like, people are jealous of you because of, like, the success and the wealth that you've gained. You know, like, they haven't been able to attain that yet, so there could be something close to that. Or, if you do come into union with somebody, it could be a power couple sort of a thing, too. Because, like I said, there's the Nine of Cups right here and the Nine of Coins. They complement and they support one another. And then right here, there's kind of like a couple right there. You know? So, if you go into a relationship with somebody, make sure that you guys are kind of, like, on the same page about things. Like, if you guys are ambitious, like, that other person has to be ambitious, too. If they're lazy, you gotta be lazy, too. You know? An equal amount of give and take. Otherwise, it's just going to be super frustrating for you guys. And nobody wants that. Nobody wants that. Because, yeah, on the downside, I feel like that connection, if you're not being honest with yourself, it could be like that. The Sun is all about positivity, but in reverse, it could be like depressions, hardships, not so fun, great things. Yeah, so I'd be weary of that, like, a person coming in for not the right reasons, but I feel like for the most part, you're going to listen to your intuition and cut through the crap on that, because you have a greater self-knowledge of yourself. And if not, you're just going to gain more experience, and the next time when somebody comes around, you're going to have your wits about you. So, let's see what the spirit messages have to say about this month. Nature. This is a time to absorb and heal properties that nature has to offer. Your mind, body, and soul need nourishment, energy, revitalization, and strength. Nature has much to offer, so take this time to connect and spend some quality time outdoors. Excuse me. So when I saw nature, I definitely thought, you know, like, maybe the things that you're going to be doing outside involve nature. Maybe you're going to go on a hiking trip. Maybe you are going to spend more time outdoors, you know, go on walks. Maybe you're going to be more involved with sports if you're at school, if that's the case, or you're going to join, like, a cross-country club, something to that effect. But also, when it said energy, revitalization, like, your soul needs nourishment, it made me think of, again, like, Scorpio, King of Cups, because they're all about, like, regenerating, restoring your energy, and coming back to full power. And then also, there's a Sun right here. This couple, like, they're walking outside, or they're, you know, just being happy, but they're outdoors. So I definitely feel like that'll probably boost your spirits up if you're, what is it? If you might even be mildly depressed, but I don't think so, but I feel like that's just going to keep your spirits up, too. Make you even more happy. And something fun that you can share with your partner. Or you could even meet your partner through, like, going outside. And then listen. You have to be willing to listen if you want to really understand someone. Now it's not the time to be offering advice, but to be a compassionate listener. To listen fully and intently means to pay attention, not to what just is being said, but to what lies beneath the words. So with listen, I see this one as listening to your intuition, like I've been saying in a couple of other readings, but I see this as like listening to your intuition. Like if somebody's coming into your life, if you think this is a good connection, you know, you can definitely take that chance and it might pay out for you. You might finally understand, like, okay, you know, like I can understand this person, but if you're not exactly sure, I would keep your wits about you a little bit. And also I see listen, like when it said, not just to what's being said, but to how it's like being said. I remember I did an analogy, what was it? Like you could be asking somebody like, how are you doing? And they could be saying, oh, you know, I'm fine. But when they say I'm fine, they might have like a somber voice behind them. They might not be looking at you. They could be looking away. And it just kind of makes you question like, okay, is this person really all right? Because the way that you're saying this, it looks like you're not. So just be aware of that. And it could be like maybe you're going into a conversation with somebody and something gives them away. Like their actions don't exactly line up with the story that they told. So pay attention to that. And then also, maybe if you're in a relationship, like you need to listen to your partner too. Listen to like what they're saying, like consider what their needs are, because maybe they just want to spend some quality time with you and not necessarily like everybody else. And then also like listen to the synchronicities around you, because maybe if you're single, like it could be that there are signs because you're having a lot of wealth, because you're having a lot of popularity. It could be that maybe more signs are showing up, like more synchronicities. Maybe you're seeing 11:11 a lot more often. Maybe like what you view as an ideal partner, like you're seeing a lot of people that have those traits. They could be the one. Like I said, just listen, like maybe take the time, slow down, and see if these messages are valid. And then the last one, Animal Kingdom. Animals of all types are extraordinary creatures and miraculous gifts to us. They've been our spiritual companions since the dawn of time. At this moment, they have lessons to share with you that will open your heart and soul. So with Animal Kingdom, I thought, you know, like maybe you're going to be going outside and, you know, maybe you're going to go to a animal shelter and see a lot more animals. Maybe you're going to go to a zoo and see animals, like your groups of friends, that sort of stuff. But then I started thinking about it, and I know there are like therapy dogs and there are like therapy horses, like to rehabilitate yourself. Or for sure, like when I was at college, finals week, we had therapy dogs that would go on the campus, and if you needed to like pet an animal to like relieve your stress, they had dogs like everywhere. So it made me think of that too. You know, it's just going to open you up emotionally in a different way, and maybe in a way to like make you think differently about relationships, like how you communicate to people, like what makes you more emotionally fulfilled, because maybe you used to be like this very outgoing person, but now maybe you just want to be by yourself a little bit more, or maybe you've had this period of isolation for a little bit and now you want to go out and experience different things. But being around animals, I feel like that's going to open up your horizons a little bit more, whether that's, like I said, you know, like having a therapy dog, whether that's, you know, going to the animal shelter or volunteering your time, or even going over to a friend's house and just playing around with their dog or whatever. You know, that's going to open up your emotional realm in a different way. So yeah, that's what I see with group number 3. I hope you guys liked this video. If you did, definitely hit the like button down below. Subscribe to my channel to get more videos. I have an Instagram page where I post daily readings, positive affirmations, and inspirational quotes to get your vibes up. And then I would love to hear your story in the comment section down below. And anyways, on to group number 4. Alrighty, so let's see what group number 4 has. The final group for March 2019. Ooh, there's a death card. But that's not entirely bad. We'll wait till the rest of the cards are here. Scoot them over so they're in focus. Yeah, so I definitely was drawn to the death card because this one is about like transformation, things coming to an end, getting rid of things to make way for the new. But then you have like the Emperor, Queen of Wands, and Two of Cups. The Two of Cups is all about like a balanced relationship, partnership. There's an equal give and take, and it's just emotionally fulfilling. And then you have Queen of Wands and the Emperor, and although like this isn't the King of Wands and this isn't technically like the Empress, they still have like that royalty energy. So I feel like you're gonna come into contact with people that are going to compliment you really well, or you could meet your other half again. But in order for you to meet your other half, I definitely feel like you have to go through some sort of transformation or some sort of change to make that happen. And with the Death card in this one, so in traditional like Rider-Waite tarot and even in the Witches tarot, like the Death, like he's riding on a horse, he's riding on a horse, kind of like facing death, whatever it is. And in here, it's like this guy is a skeleton, he's skin and bones, and with his scythe, he kind of like chopped off the heads, and I feel like that's of lovers or something. So I feel like you have to cut something out of your life in order to, like manifest better relationships. I feel like this month is just gonna kind of make you think differently about relationships, because maybe before you, maybe before, you appreciated compliments, that sort of thing, but now you just kind of value like honesty and people telling you as it is. Because again, like this guy is in skeletons, he's not like hiding behind anything. It's just his skin and bones, so you can't even see like what his face really looks like or whatever. So I definitely see that as like getting to the truth of the matter, and just working from that, and that's how you're going to bring about your change. And also the Death card is represented by Scorpio. Scorpios are all about like transformation and changes. And then, and then the booklet, it mentions like death is all about alteration, transformation, loss, ending or parting of ways, boredom, depression, stagnation, handling failure or disaster, regeneration required, bereavement, forced removal, immobility, recovery from illness or shock, and then transition. So yeah, I definitely feel like you have to like break away from somebody. This could be an old relationship, this could be like a bad work situation or something like that, but you just have to like cut ties with it. And then you're going to be able to like move into this more positive energy. And then I have not had the Judgment card like come up in a lot of readings, so I read up on that, to like get a little bit more insight on that. And then the Judgment card is, where is it? Oh, I just went by you. Yeah, the Judgment card is rebirth, renewal, awakening of the dead, rejuvenation, result, judgment, sentence, resurrection, call to new life, autumn from the ashes of the old, rehabilitation, creation, promotion. So yeah, I feel like this change, is gonna like revive you though, because again, like the Death card is about regeneration and rejuvenation. That's definitely what I feel like these two complement each other really well, but there's also a difference. Like this one is kind of like like I said, this one is judgment. So, like when your soul goes through the underworld, maybe that's kind of like the transformation that you have to go through. Like it's the dark, like underworld sort of a thing. And your soul is like, is judged. Then, maybe that's what you feel like you have to go through. But I feel like this is going to bring a lot of justice to you. Because in the past, it was like a lot of toxic situations. It was a lot of negativity, those sort of things. And like now, you're kind of like trying to be more positive to attract like healthy relationships, more balanced relationships. And even if this isn't like a romantic relationship, I feel like you're just gonna, again, like view your relationships with people in general differently. Like maybe before you kind of appreciated like people just kind of sugarcoating things, or whatever the case was, but now you value like honesty. Like you don't care about appearances as much, because you want to see like what's underneath the surface of things. And then like the Emperor energy, I feel like this whole month, you'll probably be going through this process of getting rid of things. And I feel like maybe towards the end of the month, this is when you're going to meet the partnership, because the Emperor and the Queen of Wands, they both represent Aries. And funnily enough, like the end of March is when it turns into Aries season. So that's why I say, like you might meet this person during the end of the month. But if not, that's okay too. But the Emperor, he's all about like owning his power. He is like the authority. He's in charge of his life. He watches over people. He's a good leader. And then you have the Queen of Wands. She's a very good leader too. She takes action, and she's very attractive as well. She's very confident, and she handles like work matters with confidence as well as like home matters, so she can balance work and life very well. And it could be like, if you're not cutting ties with somebody, maybe it's like you're trying to rejuvenate, like your values in relationships as well. Because this one talks about like rejuvenating, like old ideas, new things, kind of like religions too. But with the people being right there, I feel like you're going to be a little bit more relationship oriented towards that. Like, are the connections that you're making with people, are they kind of like superficial, or is there kind of like more substantial meaning behind them? And I feel like you're going to find your answers this month. So, let's see what the oracle cards or the spirit messages have to say about this month. Study. Spirit has its own special way of letting you know that it's time to study again. From time to time, it's important to go back and learn, whether that's learning old things in a new way or learning something totally new. This is an opportunity to expand your mind. Shoot, I forgot to mention this too, because, okay, like I was saying that the Emperor is about authority, and in the Judgment, it said, promotion. This could be, like maybe if you're not looking for a relationship, or maybe even if you're in a relationship, it could go to the next level. But also, if you're not looking for a relationship, maybe you're going into a business partnership, maybe you're at work, you could get a promotion. Because like I said, that one, the Judgment card was about promotion. So maybe it's like you have to go back to school because the position that you want, maybe you don't have like all the qualifications for that position. So it could just be, like you have to study a little bit more before you get promoted. It could also be that this transformation, like this transition that you're going through, you have to learn a little bit more about yourself, and like what you want out of relationships, what you don't want. You could be studying a little bit more, like I said, like religious stuff, but an opportunity to expand your mind for sure. And then serenity. The most important relationship you can have is with yourself. This is a time to honor, nurture, and love yourself more by seeking out and removing any negative feelings and emotions that are left over from yesterday. Don't let past issues and resentments interfere with your serenity today. So this one, it definitely had me thinking of death, because it said, like cutting out and removing any negative feelings and emotions left over from yesterday. So yeah, like I feel like you have to cut out all the negative things that are in your life in order to bring in like the new things. But I also love how it says like the most important relationship you can have is with yourself. And that's definitely like what Aries do. They take care of themselves. And it almost made me think like maybe in your past relationships, you didn't really have like a voice. You weren't able to like take care of yourself. Like the relationships that you were in, they were just very you couldn't be yourself necessarily. It kind of sabotaged your sense of self. In essence, probably lost your head in the relationship. You just kept on going around in circles, that sort of stuff. But like the Emperor and Queen of Wands, they know who they are. They're Aries. They're like the number one in the zodiac. So yeah, that's also something to keep in mind too. Like, don't get into a relationship if you have to sabotage your sense of self. And then the last one, stay connected. We are all born connected to spirit, often known as the divine source. Yet, many of us have a tendency to pull away from that connection as we journey through life in the physical world. Now is an important time to reconnect to the source. So this one I definitely saw like as judgment and the death. As judgment and the death, as I tap them at the opposite ends. Because judgment, like I said, this one is about rejuvenation, revitalization of something. So maybe, and then this one is all about like transformation and getting rid of things that no longer serve you. So maybe it's like this transformation is bringing about like a rejuvenation. Like maybe you want to connect back to like your intuition. Maybe you want to connect back to spirit, or maybe some religions. Oh, whoops. We should get that into focus. I'll move these up here. Yeah, maybe you want to get back in touch with spirit. Maybe you want to do something to like reconnect to source, reconnect to yourself a little bit more. And then also, I saw this as like literally staying connected, because maybe this transformation, like I said, you know, if you have to study, if you have to go back to school because you're not as qualified for this promotion, or this transformation, it's making you move to somewhere else, you know, you might have had to leave behind like people that you still love, you know, like maybe you had to leave behind your friends, your family. And this, I feel like, is saying, you know, like you need to stay connected, like stay connected to the people that you love, that bring you peace, that bring you harmony. You know, it's not necessarily like saying goodbye. You can still come back and see them, but it's like for now, you're just not physically with them right now. So, yeah, this is it for the pick a card reading. I hope you guys liked it. If you did, definitely hit the like button down below and make sure to subscribe to my channel where I do more readings. And I would definitely love to do more pick a card readings, so if you guys have any suggestions, please leave them in the comment section down below. I'd love to hear like your thoughts on that. And also, if this video resonated with you, please leave a reply in the comment section down below. And then I also have an Instagram page at Stars and Moon Tarot where I post daily tarot readings along with positive affirmations and inspirational quotes to get your vibes up. So if you want to check that out, I would be more than thrilled to get your replies on that sort of stuff. But anyways, I will see you guys later, and thanks for seeing this pick a card reading. Bye!